Bye, guys. Thanks for coming on the stream.
I will see you.
Gina Carano, I want you here at my apartment. Please. You got Friday and you have Sunday. It's the last day you're allowed before I take down this picture, and I take down that picture. You got Friday or Sunday. Be here. Please. I'm asking you politely.
Well, I got to say, Perry, demands always work out in your favor, so I'm sure she'll listen up.
I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm asking. I'm not demanding. I'm asking. 2 more days.
All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Friday from Mailbag Friday.
Friday or Sunday, Gina gets to come here. Please inform Tom and then inform me.
No, I am not your personal assistant.
Oh, so then just inform me then. Instagram me. Thank you. Love you.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll
Good
work
night.
out. See you on Friday for Mailbag Friday.
Restart the computer. See you all on Friday. Bye, everyone. I'm going to restart my computer right now. Thank you. Restart. Restart right now. Restart.
Good night, Perry. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't kidding. I can't do after hours because I got to do something with my dad in the morning. So I got to absolutely make sure I'm up for that. So I know if I start doing after hours, it'll be an hour will turn into 2 to 3. But we'll make up for it on Friday. So I want to say thank you. Thanks for everybody who came out. Thanks for everybody that participated in Media Share. And thank you to our new VIP, It Doesn't Done. Thank you for the whiskey way back when. And I'll talk to you all on Friday. Oh, by the way, I'll leave you guys with this because a lot of people have been asking about it, and I can kind of talk about it now since I've tried to patch as much as I can. People were asking what the deal was the other night when we were talking about Perry's mistake that he made, and people are like, oh, did he fall for another scam? Yes, he did fall for another scam, and I'll tell you exactly what it was. It could not have been more tailor-made for Perry. So when you get these text messages, and I know, here I go, because I said I wasn't doing after hours. But I'm going to say this. Thanks, Omega Cloud. I'll pass that on to my dad. He's going to be fine, by the way. So Perry got one of these text messages. You get text messages like, hey, you've been awarded something, or your insurance for being a great driver, you're being offered a bonus or something like that. Anyway, so we got this thing where it was like, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have it in front of me, but it was something to the effect of, a lawsuit, a recent judgment has been reversed in your favor. A judge ruled that you are entitled to $25K. Click here. That was basically it. Now, obviously, that would probably work on Perry anyway, but because of that stupid lawsuit that he had with his truck, he got the final ruling, not the final ruling, but the final amount that he was going to get paid 2 weeks ago, and he was very disappointed. It was a very low amount because he thought it was going to be a payday, like $20K or something like that, and it obviously was not. So this thing, now they're random. I think I've gotten one exactly like that, but I mean, you could not have picked a more perfect person at a more perfect time to receive that text message for these people. So he, of course, clicked on the link, which led him to fill out this thing, and then there was a phone call made, and it just turned into a bit of a nightmare. He did catch himself eventually because the guy on the phone, I guess, the Indian, first of all, he did pick up that it was an Indian guy, but not right away. And he kind of did click because the guy was asking for more information, and then he quickly called me on his other phone while he was on the phone with this guy, and I told him it was like red alert, and then it was bam. So long story short, his Chase account compromised, his PayPal compromised. So if you have his PayPal information and you were like contributing to the microwave thing, don't send anything to his PayPal right now. It's compromised, and as is the Chase account. And I've been working on it. That's why on this happened on Monday. So Monday, the icing on the cake Monday was, and I was dealing with this all day, and I'm all day, and we've been through this. This is not my first rodeo, but I was so disappointed because, I thought he was trained out of it. I really did. And it's been a long time since something like this happened. And something like this actually led to him losing his disability to begin with. And you can make the argument that if it wasn't for scammers, there would be no PCL. Because I don't think, I'm trying to envision if there would be a PCL if he didn't lose his disability originally, like 4 years ago, which avalanched into a lot of different things. But that's what happened. So that he fell for this thing. And Chase has been good. There, we're trying to take care of it on that end. PayPal's a little more difficult because it was trickier. And these guys, they know what they're doing. And not only that, I think they're trained when you get these people on the phone, these like Indian scammers or wherever they were located. I'm sure it's Indian. They kind of pick up on the kind of person they're talking to right away. So they take advantage of certain things, and so I don't have a recording of the call. Obviously, I don't know what happened on the phone. I just know where I picked things up. I told the guy Perry to hang up on the guy immediately, which means you got to change Perry's phone number and all these things. So, yeah, that's that, and then then again. What happened on Monday, it was all day Monday, so I had to put everything else I was doing aside to take care of all this stuff on Monday. And then later in the day, of course, when I was kind of done for the day with all this and I was just trying to like detox a little bit, I get another call, and his ringtone by now. It's the Back in Black, and I just heard the ringtone and I was like, oh man, what now? So I answered the phone. I was like, hello. He's like, you're not going to believe what just happened. And I was just like, oh my, what now? What now? What could it possibly be? And he had locked himself out of the apartment, which, it was just the perfect storm of a day. And then we went on. I just decided, I got to call a locksmith because his apartment complex and the company that runs it are useless. It wasn't that late either. It was like 7 o'clock when he did it, West Coast time. And like, you mean to tell me that nobody in that company could have just got somebody to open the office and get a spare key to open the door? But no, had to call a locksmith, which turned out to be an entertaining stream. But it was what you guys maybe didn't realize is there was just so much powder cake pressure on my end, just dealing. I was like, here's another thing, and so anyway, I know a lot of people. So that's what happened. People were asking about that. So, scammed again. And it was very disappointing to me personally because I've trained him out of a lot of things, and I really thought that wasn't going to happen again. But it had been a while, I think what happens is maybe if, this was different too because this was text message based. And I don't know how they have his number or whatever. I don't even know how this whole thing works. But, scammers scammed the Scam Master. Yeah, and it was right after MC Scammer, too. Did they know that they were calling MC Scammer? It was like the next day. So, yeah. So, anyway, that was the deal there. And I'm still dealing with it. Like I said, Chase is good with it. Although, I'm just gonna say they definitely took a decent chunk of his PCL funds that I'm trying to you got to fill out all these forms to like get it back because it was not cheap. That's the scary thing. In the past, they weren't able to get much in the past because he never had that much, but. Except the one time, the time he lost his disability, they did take out like a decent amount because he had, I forget what the reason was. I think that was back again. It all goes back to his truck thing. I think that was back when he first got the insurance check from the truck and he had a decent amount in there. So that was a pain in the ass. But this one was a big chunk because again, I don't know how they say because I've watched enough videos on YouTube where people try to like stop scammers. And by the way, you're gonna have to tell me if he pops on with Pornhub because I don't have my headphones on. But they must have a way to like basically say in order to get 25K you got to give X amount and give like or like hey we need your routing number and stuff like that, and he doesn't memorize it, but he like looked it up. Okay, here's my thing. So then and it's just a pain in the ass because you got to change, you got to cancel everything, you got to change the bank account automatically, which means you got to change the debit card, which means and I got to do all that. You got to do you got to do so many things. You got to change the phone number. You got to change, it's like all these different things that have this reverberating effect. So, yeah, it sucks, and it happened to my dad a couple of years, not a couple of, more like 5-6 years ago. And that was something like a Microsoft scam. So they prey on old people, the gullible, and it just sucks. It just sucks. Raccoon Money 007 review, haven't seen it yet. I've heard nothing but bad things from people I trust, so I'm not looking forward to it. There's a chance I might see it Saturday, but I don't know. I maybe next week sometime. I just because my friend that I'm going to go to see it with hasn't been available. Like I wanted to go on Monday, which turned out to be not the right day to go because I was dealing with Perry's scam thing, and then we had the surprise stream, so that wouldn't have worked. And then last night I couldn't do it. Yeah, so it's just a scheduling thing. So maybe I'll see it on Saturday. But sometime. Okay. Some people say it's good. Yeah, I've heard from a really good friend of mine who's a big Bond fan that it was thumbs down from him. And I only want to hear from Bond fans. I don't want to hear a review from somebody who will go see like Fast and the Furious 10 and walk out with a beaming smile like that was great. But anyway, haven't seen it yet. Maybe next week, sometime. So I hear mixed thing. I'm not overly looking forward to it. I kind of just want to get the Daniel Craig era over with and move on. And we don't. I see the Daniel Craig era as a huge wasted opportunity. There was a lot of promise there, and he really, at the end of the day, you got one great Bond movie out of his entire run, which was Casino Royale, and the rest have been varying degrees of awfulness, in my opinion. But do I want to hear from a 1950 Bond fan or a real day Bond fan? Just cinematic Bond fan. Who has a similar taste to me. Who should be the next Bond? It should be an unknown. It should be somebody, at least somebody that I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Brosnan was wasted. Brosnan had one decent film, GoldenEye, but the rest it was a downward slope after that. I'm seeing Halloween Kills tonight because I hate myself. He says I'm looking forward to Halloween Kills. I'd like to say I watched the first Halloween again on was it Saturday night, and I really enjoyed it. Hadn't seen it in a long time, and it was good. And I maybe I'll rewatch the one from a couple of years ago, even though I remember not loving it, but thought it was okay. But I would do that. I know I'm slipping into After Hours, right? No, believe my eyes on the clock. I'm not going to do a whole thing. But yeah, so I'd like to see. I'll see Halloween eventually, but I definitely need to get. I've never not seen a Bond movie in the theater since Octopussy. Octopussy was the first movie I saw. No, I haven't seen Lamb. I've heard weird things about it. No, they're not going to make the next Bond a woman. That's not happening. They're already ruining Indiana Jones, from what I hear. I've heard some really bad things about Indiana Jones. But oh, that's super sweet. I just got a Venmo notification from Paul Sullivan. I hope he doesn't mind me doxing him. He says He sent $20 and said, "You're the GOAT. God bless you and thank you, sir. We all love you. Bless this community." That's really awesome, Paul. Thank you. And you know what? I'm gonna take my dad out to lunch with that tomorrow after he gets out. He's having this elective surgery on his prostate, which is a crazy area to have elective surgery on. But it sounds, from what everything he's told me, it sounds like the right move. But boy, it sounds painful. So, yeah. So I've had that on my plate this week too, in addition to Perry's stuff, which hopefully gets resolved. It was just a major blow in more ways than one. Oh, sorry. Fastway was asking what I was wearing. I'm wearing a ratty green shirt that says Brennan's Pub on it. I collect T-shirts that say Brennan's. Like, there's so many establishments that say Brennan's Bar, Brennan's Pub. People, I had friends send it to me. So this is one that's in Galway. I don't think it's there anymore. But that's what I was wearing, and I'm wearing like blue jeans. Thankfully, it's not too cold yet. Because once it gets cold, I'm kind of fucked in this room because it's not properly insulated yet. But yeah, next James Bond, your guess is as good as mine. Hope it's cool. I hope it's a good choice. I hope they get away from this woke culture, which Bond it's not a sea that Bond should be swimming in. But I don't know. I haven't seen the latest movie yet. And also get rid of this continuity stuff. Bond has never done continuity right. At times it's frustrating that they don't acknowledge previous films, or when they do, it's all wrong. And now I feel like the Craig era has tried to be like the Marvel universe, where they try to like make sense out of all of them and combine. Like somebody said, "Oh, you have to have Spectre fresh in your head when you see this new movie." I'm like, I'm never watching that movie again, so it's not going to be fresh in my head. But Robert Pattinson next Bond, ooh, that would be a terrible choice. $20 for lunch anyway. No, obviously the $20 would be just the pre-lunch cocktails, not the full lunch. Danko says, "Big ups to Tom and the PCL community. Congratulations on your second egg. I figured you could use another. Let's see how long this run lasts on top of the AC. I didn't even need to ask where you were gonna put it. I knew where you're gonna put it, but I figured I'd let you have the options. Regardless." Halfway to an hour of After Hours. What is there's something making noise here. Is Barry still on the phone? No? Oh, I was hearing something come out of this phone. Cavill is an X-Bond. That would have been interesting like 10 years ago. I think he's a little too old now. You got to start out with somebody fairly young. Yes, Rick. As far as I know, your egg is still in the toilet tank. As far as I know, I haven't heard of it. In fact, I'd be shocked if it wasn't there. I'd be shocked if it wasn't there. If it's bitches on the ballot, ball them out. No, there's nobody on the balcony because I don't live there anymore. And that's the only reason I balled those women out that one night is because I know I was leaving anyway. And they were annoying me all, like anytime the weather got above, in my old apartment there was like a row of balconies that looked out, and anytime the weather was above, I would say 63 degrees, these assholes threw a party. Like, and had all their friends over to all hours of the night, and they were all like cackling and laughing. So the night that you heard me scream at them, that was my last straw, and I knew I could actually get one in because I was moving that week. So I didn't care any ramifications. But anyway, I am gonna wrap here, and I'm gonna say goodnight and thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks for all the good thoughts about my dad. My dad's gonna be fine. Thanks. Yeah, it totally was a beta move, right? Yeah, I don't know. And ask me. I don't know if I would have done it if I was staying there, but I yeah, it's true. It was a beta move. thanks for everybody that has any kind of concern about Perry. Look, we gotta watch over the guy. We got to be his guardian angel at some point. Because that stuff's just gonna happen. That stuff's gonna happen. So, and and who else is gonna do it? How much to hire Perry to yell at your neighbors? I think he'd do that for free. He does it to his people quite a bit, his neighbors. So, good night, Hannah. Good night, everybody. Good night, Rick. Good night, Joey. Good night, Garrett. Good night, Danko. Good night, Faster Blade. Good night, Korath. Good night, Mitch. Good night, Bill. Good night, Larry. I'm going to assume one of the lurkers is named Larry, so I'm just going to name lurkers. Good night, lurkers. We love the lurkers. Good night, Tracy. Good night, Liz. Good night, all the ladies of PCL. Good night, Tommy. Good night, Magnum. Good night, Mr. Patsy. Good night, Five Across the Face. Good night, Nate. Good night, everybody. Good night, Defiant P. Good night, Chrissy. Hope you got your screenshot. Good night, Cha Cha. Good night, Hugh. Good night, Frank. Good night, Roger. Good night, Wheezy Jefferson. Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Monday. See you on Friday. From a Friday mailbag. Good night. THX.